You're listening to the Marne Report.
Howdy, Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield. It's Brian Lunn here with another edition of the Fort Stewart Marne Report. And today we have a very special guest. Today we have Amber Eisler, the coordinator at CYS. How you doing today?
I'm well, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're glad to have you here today. So first, before we get into all the fun action and all the good talk we had today, can you just explain to people, what do you do around the Rock?
So I'm the Child and Youth Services Chief for Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield, so over everything child and youth related that occurs on the installation.
Okay, and so today we're here to talk about Month of the Military Child. Can you first just give us a little bit of an overview? What is Month of the Military Child?
Yeah, so every year in April, we celebrate the military child, all ages welcome, primarily the ones that are in our care and attend our facilities, but really just for the entire community. We host several events throughout the enterprise and really just hone in and celebrate, the sacrifices and everything that military children go through. So it's an exciting time.
And you talked about it a little bit, kind of the sacrifices. So do you believe this is the importance of celebrating this month?
Yes, absolutely. They go through a lot of moves throughout their life, a lot of new friends, new schools, new homes. They don't have that room like a lot of us, grew up in or to go back home to. But there's a lot of good in that as well. They just sometimes don't tend to realize that till they're much older and mature. But
speaking for myself, growing up a military child, I see that directly. I've probably had like 5-6 moves, so it gets crazy, but there's a little fun in the craziness, but
you learn to appreciate it, right?
Exactly. But it was nice to always have that support system. There's nothing like the military community, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you talked about what kind of things are we doing during this month to give back to military child?
So there's a lot of activities and events that are going on throughout the facilities, all the way from, our youngest at 6 weeks old, all the way till our youth center youth who are, up to 18. So, and we have some really cool community events going on within the month. The first coming up is our Month of the Military Child opening ceremonies, and those are being presented with color runs. So, it's going to be super fun. The Fort Stewart event is on the 5th of April, and the Hunter event is on the 12th of April, 9:30. It's a free event. Really hoping to have a lot of the community out to celebrate the child in that manner. Right. So,
Do you plan on doing the run yourself?
Yes. Yeah. There's a ton of us, internally from CYS that are going to be there to support as well. It's going to be a fun time.
That should be fun. What other kind of resources does CYS have for military children?
We have our influx in our facilities. We are open 6 to 6 for our military families so that they're, afforded and have the opportunity to go to PT. In terms of our children, they get so much. We have a really strict curriculum within our programs. Our youth center is free for ages 6th grade to 12th grade, and it's really highly attended. We have over 100 teenagers that go to that facility. So, to get a teenager out of the house these days is pretty cool.
Hard, yeah.
So we're excited about that. But, really just a safe space for them to hang out where all of our facilities are highly inspected. So just really a safe, awesome place to be amongst those who live the same lives.
And through all these changes, how do you believe this kind of impacts the child going forward? As you see them growing up, how do you believe those unique experiences kind of develop a child?
Mm-hmm. So, having children of my own, I see it also firsthand. I've worked in this field for 22 years, but, it really, I think, does make you more culturally aware. You're a part of a diverse community. You're learning a lot about other people and, how all of that works. And really, I think military children are really resilient.
Oh, yeah.
They're able to bounce back and transition and face a lot of things that, maybe the child not exposed as much as our military children and youth are. I just really think that, resiliency is key. And
yeah, you have to be. It's so much change. It's so much stopping on a dime, getting up and moving. So What do you want our audience to kind of take away from the Month of the Military Child? What do you believe is a great message to send to our audience?
I really feel like our military children are, the unspoken of sometimes hero. They're the ones, back at the house, facing the everyday, life goes on when mom or dad is deployed. And so, them having to face those types of realities, plus just being a a child. It's just a very special thing to celebrate, and I'm very happy to celebrate that in the month of April each year. It's a lot of fun.
You kind of talked about the fun run coming up and stuff like that. Where can people stay in the loop and know what's coming up and stay up to date for the things going on in April?
Right, yeah, there's a lot of forums, to learn about all of the information, primarily anything regarding child and youth services. We have 2 Parent Central Services office, one at Stewart and one at Hunter. And those 2 facilities are kind of like our one-stop shop for everything CYS. Obviously, we're also marketing and advertising through, our social media pages on Facebook at the Stewart Hunter MWR page, and then we also have a Stewart Hunter CYS page. So, the old school flyers to take home, that sort of thing. So a lot of different resources are amongst the community to share what we've got going on.
Got you. And is there anything that I might have missed that we haven't talked about this podcast?
I don't think so.
No? We covered it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, guys, make sure you're staying aware about what's going on. As we said before, April is Month of the Military Child, so it's going to be a fun month. It's going to be a lot of things going on. We'll try to do our best to keep you in the loop. I want to say thank you again for coming on the podcast. It's been fun.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime we get to, highlight our military children, it's a great day. So thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to be another episode of the Marne Report. You guys have a good week.
The My Army Post app is your one-stop source for all things Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Airfield. With Mappa at your fingertips, you'll never miss out on upcoming events, installation updates, facility and gate information, weather, shopping, and so much more. My Army Post is free from your phone's app store. Download today.